Today we're doing a little spend the morning with me. I thought it would be nice to do just a chill morning vlog. Today's video is actually going to be a little bit different, which you guys will see later. It's going to be a more chatty vlog because I have a lot to tell you guys. But first thing we're going to do is make my bed. I always make my bed right after like getting up and go brushing my teeth and stuff. So let's do that really quick and let some light in. Let's open the blinds. Bed is made. Please excuse how messy my room is. Hopefully you just can't really tell. There's just some boxes lying on the ground that are kind of just gonna stay there until I move. Whenever I get a package and the box is like somewhat big, I save it and I just start throwing random things in there that I know I'm not gonna need until I move. There's actually been a lot of random little like decorations I've collected for the new apartment over the past several months. So one of those boxes is full of that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you see that, just ignore it. But speaking of boxes, I have one from Bloom that I'm gonna open. This is gonna be the first time I'm ever trying their stuff. Sent a little card. They sent this cute tote bag, and then the actual product, the flavor of this one is mango, and I've actually heard that this one is really good, so I'm excited to try it. And then they sent a little electric mixer. Ooh, they even sent the little stand for it. Ignore the plastic, but here's what it looks like. So we're gonna try that right now. Let's go have some breakfast and make the drink. I'm gonna clean this really quick. I wish it was a sunny day today. It's my first day being back in LA after finishing school. I went to visit my hometown for a few days, but now I'm back in LA and it is such a gloomy day today. It's just not feeling like summer, even though I guess it's technically still spring, but still, I hope the sun comes out. Okay, let's try this out. It says to combine 1 scoop with 8 to 12 fluid ounces of water or your favorite beverage. Okay, I have exactly 12 ounces. It comes with a little scooper. Okay, we're gonna add this in and mix it up. Okay, it's all mixed up. Let's try it. That's actually pretty good. I don't mind that. I definitely wasn't sure what to expect, but it tastes better than I thought it would. I also feel like this would be really good with lemonade or even in a smoothie. I don't know how often I would drink it just with water, but that's probably the healthiest way to drink it. So I am gonna finish this, have some breakfast, and get ready. Okay, so I ate breakfast. I'm kind of not sure about Bloom. It was one of those things where like the first drink was fine. It was like doable. And I was like, yeah, I could drink this whole thing. But then I kept drinking it and I was like, I don't know about this. So that's kind of how I feel about it right now. I don't know if I would drink it every day. But anyways, I think I'm gonna try to do whitening strips while I get ready. Makeup are all done. I feel like my hair recently has just been so weird and like difficult to work with, and I think it's because I've been getting lazy with blow drying it. I need to get better about doing that more often because I feel like it just makes my hair so much easier to work with, makes it look so much healthier, makes it feel nicer, but it's just a lot of work, especially when you have long hair. But anyways, I just picked out an outfit. I really wanted to wear a cute little summery outfit today, wear a little skirt with like a tank top or something, but it is 65 degrees. When I was back in my hometown, it was like 90 and sunny every day, so it no longer feels like summer as much. So anyways, here's the outfit I picked out. I'm just wearing my Levi's low pros that I wear all the time. They are just my go-to jeans, and then I'm gonna wear this really cute Princess Polly sweater. It's kind of off the shoulder, and then it has these fun little sleeves that are a little bit wider at the end, and I just think the colors are fun, which is why I'm wearing it today. It'll keep me warm, but it still is kind of like a summery type outfit, I guess. So I'm gonna change. Okay, I am all ready. I got a note on my door from UPS saying that I missed a package and I need to sign for it. So we're gonna go grab that and then go to Starbucks. Okay, I'm back in the car and I got the package. I'm in the Starbucks drive-thru right now. This camera angle is kind of weird. I can't figure out where to put it. We'll do it here for now and hope that it doesn't fall. Also, the package is for a brand deal that I have coming up that I'm very excited about. You guys already know I'm gonna get my usual. I am going to stop myself from getting food, even though it sounds good. I really want a bagel, but I think I have bagels at home. Like, I don't need to buy a bagel here. I'm so sad that it's not sunny today because I would have been getting my cute little summer drink, cute summer outfit. This is also like a very important video to me, and I wanted it to be like a sunny, happy day. Hi, can I do a grande strawberry acai lemonade with light ice and no strawberries?
What else we could do?
That's all.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, first sip. They made it good today. Okay, so it's time for a little car chat. If I'm being honest, pretty much the whole point of me filming this video today was for this. I didn't want to do just like a normal sit down video. I wanted it to be a little bit more fun than that, but I also didn't want this to just get thrown into some random video. I don't know. But we're gonna do a little story time. Grab a snack and treat this like a podcast if you want. If you guys have been keeping up with my videos recently, you would know that I've been talking about this change that's gonna happen in my life and not knowing what I'm gonna do for school next year. Well, now is the time I finally get to tell you guys. I'm gonna give you a rundown of what the past couple years have looked like for me. This is especially for those of you who maybe just started watching me recently. I'm catching you up to speed. I also just wanted to share this with you guys because I want other college students out there who may be going through the same thing that I went through to know that you're not alone and you don't have to have your entire life figured out by the time you're 20 years old. Also, I'm not good at telling stories and staying on track, so I made an outline on my phone so I can make sure to say everything I wanted to say and not get distracted. So let's rewind to about 2 years ago. I was going into my sophomore year of college at Cal State LA. My freshman year was online because of COVID, so August of 2021, I was moving into the dorms as a sophomore. I'm from a small town in the Central Valley and I was moving to LA, which is a huge city that can be very overwhelming for some people, myself included. That transition was horrible for me. I was miserable and was feeling so homesick. My entire fall semester, I was in the lowest place mentally that I had ever been in my entire life. When I go back and watch my videos from that time, I seemed so much happier than I actually was, which is just proof that social media is a highlight reel. There were mornings where my roommate would bring me food in bed from the dining hall because she knew that I didn't want to leave the room and that I was too anxious to eat and just had no appetite. But you guys didn't see that. I never asked her to do that, by the way. She was just a good friend and genuinely cared about my well-being. So anyways, in October, I signed up for therapy. That actually really helped. And then spring semester came around. I was doing a little bit better, partially because there was finally a light at the end of the tunnel. I knew that I was going to be able to move out of the dorms and into an apartment soon. And I thought that having an apartment would finally make me feel at home and just fix all of my problems, which it did make me feel more comfortable, but I still didn't enjoy living in LA and just felt so much anxiety around leaving the house. There were periods of time where I just didn't leave unless I absolutely had to because going out in LA made me so scared. I'm past that now, but it was really hard. I really struggled with feeling at home in LA and I just knew that it wasn't somewhere I wanted to be long term. So this past November, I was coming back to LA from Thanksgiving break and I finally hit a breaking point where I was like, I need to leave LA. I don't know how much longer I can be here for the sake of my mental health, and I realized that if I don't like my life, I need to change it. And the only place that I wanted to move was Santa Barbara. So if you didn't know, someone very near and dear to my heart lives in Santa Barbara. His name is Braden and he goes to UCSB. We met our junior year of high school and have just been attached at the hip ever since. So ever since we moved to our separate colleges, we've been visiting each other. Santa Barbara and LA aren't that far from each other, so since moving, I've been to Santa Barbara like a million times to visit Braden. And I eventually just fell in love with the city and with the school and the community there. I remember there was one day I was visiting and Braden was at work, so I took myself to a little park by the beach and I just sat at a picnic table with my book and I was reading, and I had this realization that I felt at home, which was huge for me. I had never felt at home anywhere besides my actual hometown, and I was so scared that I never would. This might not seem like a big deal to anyone else, but it was such a huge moment for me because I finally felt a sense of belonging that I hadn't felt anywhere else. It was also super important to me that I was alone when I felt this because Braden is a person that feels like home to me. And if he was there, I probably would have just thought that I felt so at peace and comfortable because I was with someone that I love. But the fact that I was alone when it happened was so important to me because that made me realize that Santa Barbara was the place that I wanted to call home for myself and not because of anyone else. So ever since then, my loose plan was to kind of just move to Santa Barbara after graduating from Cal State LA because then there would be nothing tying me to LA anymore and I would have the ability to move. But after I had my little breakdown coming back from Thanksgiving break, about a week later, I visited Braden in Santa Barbara again and I was just telling him how I felt. And I said to him, I wish I could just move here and transfer to UCSB. And he said, well, why don't you? And I could not give him an answer. It was something that I always wanted to do, but I never took it seriously because I thought that I was just too far along into college to transfer because I was already a junior at that point. And just logistics wise, I didn't know how it would work in terms of like housing and stuff like that. It was also just a matter of actually getting into the school. So I asked him, do you think it's too late for me to transfer? And he said, no. And it was as simple as that. It was almost like this epiphany for me because that was all it took for me to realize that all the hurdles that I would have to go through to transfer would be worth it. Before, I was just so scared and the thought of starting over at a whole new place was terrifying and it was just something that I wasn't ready to do. But it just got to a point where I knew that I would rather go through all of that than stay in LA. So that night in December, it was kind of just decided that I was going to transfer to UCSB. So I started the process, I filled out my application, I wrote my personal insight questions, and I had multiple credible people look at them for me and give me critiques. And I submitted the application January 5th, and and I wouldn't find out until late April if I got in or not. And then the next step was looking for housing. I started applying to apartments months before I would even find out if I got in. Leasing there takes a while, so you have to start really early. So I had to start in January, even though I knew I wasn't gonna move until like June. But still, it was super risky of me to get an apartment before even knowing if I got in. But I was so confident in myself that I did it anyways. I was so sure that I would get in. Not even for any cocky reasons, but just because I felt so strongly that I belong there that I just knew it was gonna work out for me. I was 100% positive that I would get in for like the entire 5 months that I was waiting. Basically, I was delusional. And then April 25th rolls around, decisions are out. I log on to the portal and I see that I did not get in. I was in denial. I thought it was a mistake. I was absolutely crushed. Everything that I had been planning for the past 6 months was completely out the window. I really started to question myself and my intuition. I just kept thinking, how did I not see this coming? I truly believed so hard that I was going to get in. There was just no other option in my head. So the rejection kind of forced me to completely change my mindset. I realized that I needed to be okay with not being in control of everything in my life. Not everything is gonna go how I imagine, and that's okay, especially in your early 20s. It was a huge wake-up call for me. So I started working on my backup plan. I was still gonna move to Santa Barbara because I had signed a lease, but I was just gonna take some classes online at Cal State LA for a year and then eventually come back to finish my degree in person. I was actually meeting with a bunch of advisors to try to figure that out, which you guys saw in my self-care week in my life, but you just didn't know what it was for. But I also didn't want to give up on going to UCSB because of how passionate I felt about it. So I emailed admissions and I asked them if they could give me any insight as to why I didn't get in. And they told me, you don't meet the transfer requirements. They were basically like, we saw that you had this English class, but you need another one. And I was like, wait, I have 3 English classes. I do meet the requirements. So with the help of my sister and Brayden, I realized that I accidentally omitted a class from my application. Basically, it was a dual enrollment English class. I took it in high school and it was essentially 2 classes in one. At least at my high school, classes were for the whole year. It wasn't 1 per semester, but this dual enrollment class was 1 per semester, which isn't like anything I had ever had before. So it was weird. It was all the same teacher, all the same students, same classroom, same everything. It was basically 1 class. It was just considered 2 classes. It just wasn't what I was used to. So I thought that listing it as 1 class was covering the whole thing. I thought that was right, but it was not. I also didn't even list that one correctly. So they didn't count either of them, which is such a dumb mistake on my part, but I'm trying not to be too hard on myself about it because it was at least understandable. Also, that was like 3 years ago when I took that class, so it wasn't like fresh in my head that I needed to list it as 2 separate classes, and I don't know, it was confusing. I also like triple checked my application before submitting it, so the fact that this happened is almost like funny, but not at all. So I called the person that I was talking to at the admissions office and I told him about those classes and I asked if they would count, and he said yes, that I do meet the transfer requirements now and that the next step would be to submit an appeal, which I was planning on doing anyways, but this basically just told me exactly what to say in my appeal. If you are going through a similar situation in terms of like not getting into the college that you wanted or something, it does not hurt to email and ask why you got rejected, because if I had just said whatever on the appeal and was basically just begging for them to let me in, like that just wouldn't be very effective. So anyways, I submitted my appeal, but I knew that the odds of me getting in from it were very slim. It is quite literally a 1% chance that I would get in from an appeal. That is not even an exaggeration, that is actual statistics. So for the next couple weeks, I was so sad, but I was preparing myself for the reality that I was not going to go to UCSB and really just trying to be at peace with that. I also had no idea when I would find out about the appeal decision. It could be as early as May or as late as July, and then May 18th came around. And I woke up to a Gmail notification from UCSB admissions saying that I had an appeal decision waiting for me in my portal. I didn't even want to open it at first because I was so scared, but I knew I just had to get it over with. So I got my computer, and before even typing in the admissions portal website, I just kept telling myself, you are going to be okay no matter what. And then I typed in the website, logged in, and I see that I got in. I was so relieved, to say the least. But I was also shocked because, like I said, the odds of me getting in from that were so low. I don't think I fully processed it until days later because I was just in complete disbelief. But it's real. I got in and I'm gonna be attending UC Santa Barbara this fall. I truly could not be more excited. By the way, if you're watching this and you go to UCSB or you're gonna be going there, please DM me on Instagram. I would love to be friends. I'm so happy to have finally told you guys. I have been waiting for this since December. There have been so many videos where I've hinted at this happening, going all the way back to my New Year's video. But I just didn't want to say it in case I didn't get in. I didn't want to tell you guys something was gonna happen and then be like, just kidding, no it's not. So it was just something that I wanted to keep to myself for a while. But I am so relieved that you guys finally know and I can finally talk about it. It sounds weird to say, but I am almost glad that I originally got rejected because that taught me to have more of an open mind. I grew so much in just those few weeks of thinking that I wasn't going to go to UCSB. And this whole thing may not seem like a big deal to people, like it's just me transferring schools, but it is just so much more than that to me. I've really proved to myself that if I want something, I'm going to fight for it. I did this for myself. I didn't like my life and I changed it. I'm also so grateful to even be in a position where I can do that because I know that not a lot of people are, and it's so much easier said than done. But you know, I'm 20 years old. This is the time to experiment, to try new things, to move new places, and I just could not be more excited. So that's my little story time that was probably way too long. If you listened to that whole thing, thank you. It's now 12:56, so that kind of concludes my morning. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate all of your support. When I told you guys that I was moving in my Get Ready With Me video, you guys were so supportive and loving. In the past 5 or 6 months, whenever I would tell you guys that I was making this change to my life, so many people have actually guessed that it was going to be that I was transferring to UCSB, which I think is hilarious. Even all the way back to my New Year's video, I saw people guessing that in the comments. You guys know me so well. But anyways, that's gonna be the end of today's video. Get excited for all the moving content, the beach content, the summer content, and eventually the UCSB content. That's all gonna be coming up on my channel, so if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And if you made it till this point, comment the disco ball emoji. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye!